Joining us now is Kerry O'Grady. She's the Faculty Director and Associate Professor of Practice at Georgetown University School of Continuing Studies. Kerry, welcome to our program. Let me begin by asking what the situation is right now at Georgetown University.
Well, right now, Georgetown University School of Continuing Studies has been remote since March. We made that decision early that we were going to continue with an all-remote environment for fall. And Georgetown main campus had all intentions of going back in person, but retracted that decision a couple of weeks before the school year started. So we are all remote, all in the same boat for the fall.
Do you think the quality of education perhaps is affected when everything is remote?
I think it depends. It depends on what the school is and how they've trained their faculty to teach. I think schools that have not had online learning or have been trained in online learning are at a severe disadvantage right now. I think schools who have adapted to online learning early are having a slightly easier time maintaining the quality of a robust education in this global pandemic environment.
And a return to campus in so many places has meant a jump in cases, now a struggle to contain the spread of the virus. Do you think the schools that have opened and have had these issues, they made a mistake and just should not have opened?
I think it's hard for me to determine if everybody's made a mistake, but what I will say is that we've seen a lot of rollbacks because you're depending on the students to keep people safe and to comply. And at universities, that's not the college experience. Think about why you go to college. There's a component of education, of course, but that social component and that networking component is a huge part of your college or graduate school experience. Therefore, I think it's very hard for students to want to comply with taking away half of their college experience. That's extraordinarily difficult. I've seen lots of letters and mandates from universities for students to comply with suspension repercussions. However, I can understand the student perspective. What I do think is that universities that have decided to open have to have difficult conversations at a senior leadership level, asking if they are doing this for the right reasons. And what I mean by that is I understand that universities and schools are struggling right now with losing revenue, dropping enrollment, but it's truly a student-centric environment that education is in, and therefore if you can't answer that the quality of the education is going to be similar, if not the same, as well as the psychological component of students is not going to be harmed, as well as the staff and faculty, I think that's a decision that you really have to make carefully and strategically.
And do you think rapid testing should be available on every single campus that has made a decision to have those kids go back to class?
100% agree with that. I think it's the only way, and listen, I'm not saying that there's any total preventative measures. I don't think there are any right now. However, I do think that schools and universities that have made that difficult decision to open need to take every precaution available, and that happens to be part of rapid testing to make sure that that's on hand for any situation that arises. I think when it comes to schools that have had these cluster outbreaks, I think a lot of them could have been prevented if you had rapid testing available.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Kerry O'Grady, thanks so much.